once again. What's up, 23% Nation? This is your man, Coach D. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm back with fruit of the day, the one and only blueberry. So maybe you love them, maybe you dislike them. Maybe you've never heard of a blueberry before, maybe you've never tasted a blueberry before. Well, whatever the case may be, please listen on. Why? Because we're about to dive just a little deeper into the wonderful world of blueberries. All right, first up, a little bit of background information. Blueberries are perennial flowering plants with blue or purple colored berries. Now, some of us may not know what the term perennial means. It simply means that the blueberry plant lasts a very long time. It's able to endure different types of climates. It's able to persist through different types of soils. So perennial flowering plants actually last a very long time, which means they can produce more and more blueberries. Also, blueberries are in the same family as cranberries, bilberries, and huckleberries. Wow, bet you didn't know that. So there you have it, guys. Just a little bit of background information about the one and only blueberry. All right, now it's time to dive into a few fun facts. In 1974, which by the way is my birth year, the USDA declared July, that's right guys, July, the month of July, as the National Blueberry Month. Interesting, and we happen to be in July, so I guess it's time to eat more blueberries. In 2003, New Jersey chose the blueberry as its official state berry. That's right. So if you ever go to New Jersey, be sure to order blueberries. Also, by 2012, blueberries were found in nearly 4,000 products, including foods, cosmetics, and pet products. Wow, who knew the blueberry had so many different uses? And our last little fun fact is that there are actually 3 different types of blueberries. You have low bush, you have high bush, and lastly you have rabbit eye. Now, if you don't know what a rabbit eye blueberry looks like, well, just think of what a rabbit's eye looks like. Very simple. So there we have it, guys. Just a few fun facts about the one and only blueberry. Okay, now it's time for the not so fun facts. It's important that we opt for organic when possible, as conventional blueberries are often laden with harmful pesticides. So guys, this is a prime reason why it's always a good idea to opt for organic blueberries as opposed to the non-organic blueberries. Also, those who are on blood thinning medication, such as warfarin, may also want to keep intake in moderation, as blueberries are high in vitamin K, which unfortunately can interact with these types of medications. So, number 1, opt for the organic types, and number 2, if you're on any type of blood thinning medication such as warfarin, please limit your intake of blueberries. Why? Because they're high in vitamin K, which unfortunately can counteract the benefits of those types of medications. So there we have it, guys. Just a few not so fun facts about blueberries. All right, now it's time to dive into the 520 rule. Ladies and gentlemen, the 520 rule is all about food labels. Yes, food labels. As a matter of fact, the 520 rule is really a guide. It's a guide that helps you know whether or not a food item is a good source or not a good source of any particular nutrient. Now, specifically when we talk about the 520 rule, we're really talking about percent daily value, abbreviated percent DV. Now, take a look at our sample food label. Notice that percent daily value is highlighted in lavender. And then we have a few nutrients that are highlighted in yellow, such as total fat, saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, and sodium. Now, the reason why these nutrients are highlighted in yellow is because, unfortunately, they do the body no good. As a matter of fact, rather than promote health, they do just the opposite. They promote disease. So when it comes to the 520 rule, you definitely want to make sure that these nutrients are on the lower end of the 520 rule. Lastly, we have other nutrients that are highlighted in blue, such as dietary fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron, which basically help to represent the multitude of vitamins and minerals that we find in a lot of different foods. Now, the reason why these nutrients are highlighted in blue is because these nutrients help to prevent disease and promote wellness within the body temple. So when it comes to the 520 rule, you definitely want to make sure that these nutrients are on the higher end of the scale, right? So rather than use the words higher, lower, let's dive just a little deeper into the 520 rule. Now, if a food item offers anywhere from 0% to 9% DV, then what that simply means is that that food item is not a good source of that particular nutrient. If it offers 10% to 19%, right, then it is considered a good source of that particular nutrient. Lastly, if the food item offers 20% DV or higher, then it is considered an excellent source of that particular nutrient. So in other words, if we focus on the nutrients that are highlighted in yellow, well, we definitely want to make sure that their percent DV is anywhere from 0% to 9%. However, if we look at the nutrients that are highlighted in blue, such as vitamins, minerals, and fiber, then we definitely want to look for foods that offer the percent DV anywhere greater than 10%, right? 20% would be ideal, but make sure that it is no lower than 10%. So there we have it, guys. A little information about the 520 rule. Okay, now that we are aware of the 520 rule, we can now talk about the nutrition facts of blueberries. So for today's lecture, we're going to simply say that a single serving of blueberries, or raw blueberries at that, is equivalent to 1 cup. So if we eat 1 cup of blueberries, then this is what we're putting into our bodies. 84 calories, 21.4 grams of carbs, 1.1 grams of protein, only 0.5 grams of fat, and notice something, 3.6 grams of dietary fiber. Amazing. Now, let's talk about vitamin K. Notice that a single serving of blueberries is going to offer you 36% DV. Now remember, 36% is greater than 20%. So that means that a serving of raw blueberries is an excellent source of vitamin K. Next up is manganese, coming in at 25% DV. So that means that yes, blueberries are an excellent source of manganese. Next up is vitamin C, coming in at 24% DV. So that means that blueberries are an excellent source of vitamin C. Next up is vitamin B6, only coming in at 4% DV. So unfortunately, blueberries are not a good source of vitamin B6. Next up is thiamine, coming in at only 4% DV. So unfortunately, blueberries are not a good source of thiamine. Next up is riboflavin, also coming in at only 4% DV. So it's not a good source of riboflavin. Next up is vitamin E, coming in at only 4% DV. So unfortunately, blueberries are not a good source of vitamin E. And lastly is copper, coming in at only 4% DV. So being that it's between 0% and 9% DV, that simply means that blueberries are not a good source of copper. Now, if we take a look at our next column, these are a few other nutrients that are found in trace amounts in the blueberries. So yes, they have niacin, they have vitamin A, they have folate, they have pantothenic acid, zinc, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, And now we have to get into a few specialized phytonutrients, such as resveratrol, anthocyanin, and lastly we have pterostilbene. That's right, guys. It's pronounced pterostilbene. That is a phytonutrient, right? So now that we're aware of the nutrition facts, let's now dive into our next slide, which happens to be health benefits. Now, guys, before we talk about the health benefits, Coach D wants to drop a few dimes of wisdom on you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the principle of cause and effect, which, as some people know it as one of the 7 Hermetic principles. Now, the principle of cause and effect basically states that every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. Chance and or luck actually don't exist. They are simply names for a law not recognized. In other words, everything happens for a reason. So the reason why I bring that up is to let you know that the health benefits are actually the effects. And the nutrition facts that we just discussed, the vitamins, the minerals, and all the different phytochemicals, well, those are the causes. So in other words, if you want any of these health benefits to happen to you, then guess what? You gotta eat more blueberries. So let's go through them. Number 1, blueberries are high in antioxidants. Now, which ones you may be wondering? There are 3: phenols, flavonoids, and anthocyanins, right? Antioxidants are amazing. Basically, they help to deactivate free radicals. Now, in doing so, that actually does a lot of good for the human body. It helps to reduce the likelihood of heart disease. It helps to slow down the aging process. And guess what? It also helps to prevent cancer, right? Which is our next health benefit. Blueberries help fight cancer. That's right. Why? Because they're very high in antioxidants. Also, blueberries, they amp up weight loss. So, ladies, if you're looking to lose a little bit of weight, fellas, if we're looking to reduce our the size of our stomachs, then it's simple. Eat more blueberries. Also, blueberries, they boost brain health, alleviate inflammation, support digestion, and promote heart health. So there you have it, guys. A few health benefits of the one and only blueberry. All right, it's now time to talk about food. That's right, you guys know Coach D loves food, especially plant foods. That's why I gotta give a special shout out to forksoverknives.com. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen the movie, if you haven't visited the website, please do both, right? So as usual, I went to the website forksoverknives.com, which by the way is our website for everything vegan. I did just a little bit of research on blueberries and look at what I found. 2 amazing vegan blueberry recipes that I would like to share with you right now. The first one is entitled Blueberry Oat Breakfast Muffins, and the second recipe is Vegan Blueberry Muffins. Now, take a look at those pictures. Looks delicious, right? So, if you are so inclined to maybe try one of these recipes, then all you have to do is click on the description box. Why? Because I'm providing you with a direct link to each recipe. That's right. Click on the link and here's what you're going to find. It's going to give you the instructions. It's going to give you the ingredient list, right? And it's going to tell you exactly how long it'll take to make each dish. So, do me a favor. Make them, taste them, come back to the video, and let Coach D know exactly how they taste. All right? So please, at your earliest convenience, visit forksoverknives.com or just simply click on the description box and click on the links and it'll take you directly to each recipe. So there you have it, guys. forksoverknives.com, blueberries. All right. Now, 23% Nation, I hear you. A lot of you say, Coach D, I really like the fun facts. Coach D, I really appreciate the not so fun facts. And I even enjoyed the health benefits. But what I really want to know is, when should I eat more blueberries? Well, guys, the perfect day, and I do mean the perfect day to eat more blueberries, is Nature Day. What? Nature Day? Yes, Nature Day. Ladies and gentlemen, Nature Day happens to be the first day of the 23% challenge. Now, maybe you've been living under a rock and you know absolutely nothing about the 23% challenge. Well, guys, the challenge is a monthly 7-day wellness program that is designed to help improve your health, your wealth, and your relationships. Oh, and by the way, it also helps to save planet Earth. That's right, in only 7 days. Now, it happens to be the first 7 days of every month, meaning the first all the way through the 7th. Now, here's the thing about Nature Day. Nature Day is the first day of the challenge, which basically means it is the first day of every single month, right? So whether it's May 1st, August 1st, or November 1st, it's always Nature Day. Now, perhaps your interest has been piqued. Maybe you are intrigued. And so maybe, just maybe, you want to learn a little more about Nature Day. Well, guys, Nature Day is all about getting closer to nature. Now, yes, there are lots of different things you can do to get closer to nature. You can go swim in a lake. You can go skinny dip in the ocean. You can even go to a petting zoo, right? But Coach D wants to support you in getting closer to nature. But I want to do it by simply eating more plants. That's right, guys. Let's put what nature has to offer into our bodies by simply eating more plants. Now, perhaps you're the type of person who wants to lose a little bit of weight. Perhaps you're the type of person who wants to start eating more plants. Perhaps you're the type of person who wants to transition to a more whole food plant-based diet. Well, if that's you, I want to offer you 3 avenues that I strongly believe can help you make that transition. First up is a 3% vegan, right? So what type of person is that? Well, it's any type of person, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods for only 1 day out of an entire month. The second type is a 13% vegan, which is a person, man, woman, or child, who eats only plant foods only 4 days out of an entire month. And lastly is a 23% vegan, which means that person, man, woman, or child, only eats plant foods 7 days out of an entire month. Now, some of you may be wondering, all right, Coach D, so what type of vegan are you? Well, guys, I consider myself to be a 23% vegan. So what does that mean? It means that I only eat from the 5 food groups of plant foods the first 7 days of every single month. Oh, and by the way, I only drink water. Now, to be more specific, let's talk about the 5 food groups of plant foods. Well, you have fruits, and I mean all fruits. Next up are vegetables and herbs. Thirdly are legumes, meaning beans and peas. Fourth, we have nuts and seeds, and I do mean all nuts and seeds. And fifth are whole grains, and yes, I mean all whole grains. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We now know what Nature Day is all about. So ultimately, you get to decide, what type of vegan do you want to be? 3%, 13%, or 23%? Let me know in the comment box below. Okay, so perhaps you are now interested in Nature Day. Maybe you want to try to become a 3% vegan, right? Well, if that's you, I want to offer you 4 tips that I believe can help make your Nature Day very successful. Tip number 1 is to go visit your local grocery store. Now, does it matter which grocery store you go to? No, it does not. But here's the thing. When you go to the grocery store, you basically are going to go into two places. Number one, you're going to go to the produce section. Why? Because that's where all of your fresh plant foods are located. And number two, you get to go down the grocer's freezer's aisle. That's right. Why? Because that's where the frozen plant foods are located. Believe it or not, frozen plant foods and fresh plant foods both do the body a lot of good. Now, if you want to opt for the organic options, be my guest. Is it necessary for the 23% challenge? Absolutely not, right? Secondly, you can go visit a farmer's market. Now, believe it or not, farmers markets actually have an advantage over your local grocery store. Why? Well, if you are the type of person who loves organic plant foods, then the farmers market is ideal for you. Why? Because farmers markets only accept organic plant foods from local farmers. Also, another advantage is because the food is grown locally, that means less transportation time, which means less chemicals on the produce. And it also means that because there's less transportation time, that means fewer costs for the farmer. That means the savings is then passed on to you, the end consumer. My third tip is to go to the prepared dishes section of your local grocery store. So, while you're in the grocery store, whether you're in the produce section or the freezer aisle, why don't you walk on over to the prepared dishes section? Now, some stores may call it the kitchen, and that's okay. Here's what you're going to do. Walk on over to the counter, take a look at all the different prepared dishes that they have. Now, if you don't know or if you can't figure out if a dish is vegan or not, just simply ask the person. And be sure to ask them for a sample. They'll allow you a free sample in order to taste it. Now, if you like it, do yourself a favor. Purchase it by the pound or maybe even 2 pounds. My fourth tip is to go visit a vegan restaurant. That's right, guys. Vegan restaurants are amazing. And I'll tell you why. They're amazing because they hire vegan chefs, right? Who know exactly how to prepare plant foods, and they also know which plant foods to combine together to not only to give you the best taste, but ultimately to give you the best nutrition. So, do me a favor. Go visit your local vegan restaurant. When you get there, let them know that Coach D sent you. And number two, be sure to order something that has blueberries in it, right? So there you have it, guys. 4 tips to help make your nature day successful. All right, it's time for our question of the day. And it comes from yours truly and the rest of the 23% nation. Why? Because we have inquiring minds. So we want to know, which month is known as National Blueberry Month? Right, I gave the answer earlier in the video. Hopefully you remember. So guys, please, if you're going to answer the question, write your answer in the comment box below. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. I'm signing out. But before I go, I got to ask you to please subscribe, like, and share the video, especially if you love blueberries. Also, don't forget to use our 3-word mantra. It's hashtag eat more plants. As stated earlier, my name is Coach D. I'm signing out. Always remember to take care, God bless, and never ever forget that Coach D loves you.